Hi, this is Laya Gavin with Team EXIT Realty Sun City, and I am the licensed broker and hiring manager for Team EXIT Realty Sun City, part of the EXIT Realty Place office. And I've got a couple of guests with me here today that I wanted to have join us to just share some information about what's happening in this new world that we're working in right now, and still trying to take care of business, take care of clients, close transactions, and just, keep everybody on track with what their dreams and goals are, but still being safe and being mindful of how business is changing right now. So my guests today are a double dynamite team from Fairway Mortgage. I've got Don Buxton and Craig Gallegos from Fairway Mortgage, and they work together to help clients close transactions and finance and refinance properties. So Don and Craig, first of all, thank you very much for joining me today.
Thank you for the invitation.
Thank
We're
you.
really excited to be here, and this is a great way to start getting information out to people so that they're not just afraid of this fantastic market that we're still in.
Exactly. And I wanted you guys to share, because I wanted to have people have an understanding that business is still taking place, even though the 24-hour news cycle is sharing information in a way that has a lot of people panicked to leave their home. But, you go out and people are doing more than just stocking up on toilet paper. People are still buying homes, aren't they?
Absolutely. And it's a fantastic time to buy, because even with some of the news that you're hearing regarding rates are still down from where they were a year ago. So you've got buyers that have more buying power because of those lower rates. So it's a great time to buy.
Okay, fantastic. So let's start with the conversation about, how you were doing business 2 weeks ago compared to how that's changed to today, which is today's Wednesday, March 18th, right? So just the day after St. Patrick's Day.
Right.
So how has things changed for you as far as how you're working with clients and taking care of business?
So I think the biggest change that Craig and I have experienced is that we traditionally meet our borrowers face to face before the closing table. We meet either at application or at some time just to get together to answer questions. And that's something that the two of us have prided ourselves on for doing business that way for years. And now we are changing that a little bit. We are doing more Zoom meetings. We have moved from working in our office now to working at our home office, but still do lots of telephone calls, lots of Zoom meetings. We do some great total cost analysis for our clients so that they're completely informed before they even start looking for a home, so that they know what to expect on the financing side. I think that's one of our biggest changes.
Yeah, and I think we've relied more upon the technologies that we have available. We have a wonderful phone app called Fairway Now, whereas before we might have people bring in their documentation and we would either scan them or get them into our system like that. But now they are utilizing Fairway Now, this phone app, a lot more, simply because they don't need to go out into the public. They can scan and send in their documents completely secure. It's all 128-bit encrypted and all that. So that way they feel safe, and we can still move along in the process. And it's still it's just as fast, if not faster, than meeting face to face in that aspect.
Excellent. So for a buyer who was getting qualified to purchase and making offers on properties, that timeline, has that dramatically changed in the last couple of weeks, or is that about the same?
It's about the same.
Yeah.
We are still pushing our purchase business through from start to finish in about 30 days.
Okay.
That's a buyer that's well qualified up front. We do a really clean application, make sure that when we send you and your buyer out looking for homes, that that if you make an offer, we're going to be able to close that loan. You're not going to get a surprise a couple weeks down the road. And then we're closing still in 30 days or less.
Excellent. Excellent.
Yeah, that's a great part. Now, we have had some feedback that the appraisal process may start to take a little more time. We've had a couple of scenarios. We haven't had them personally, but our company has, where appraisers have decided maybe they don't want to go into an area. So we are encouraging agents, the minute they make an offer, to make sure that we don't delay on that appraisal. We want to order that as quickly as we can.
Yeah, we read that there was an appraiser who just, it had to be reassigned because he didn't want to go into a property, or he or she didn't want to go into that property for the actual inspection. So they had to get a different appraiser to go out there. So that obviously will take a little bit of extra time as well.
Gotcha.
We haven't had it happen, but we will always want to be prepared beforehand.
Yeah, and like I said, this is a changing environment for us on all sides of the whole real estate transaction.
Yes.
I was just in a call yesterday with some of my my folks with the association for we serve the West and Southeast Association for Realtors of the Valley, and they were talking about different things that are coming up in the middle of contracts now, because it used to just be you've got your 10-day inspection period, and you can line up, who you need to have come in, and you can, have that timetable and know that that's a reasonable time. But now, if you can't find an inspector in that 10-day window, or some of the other calendar days that counts on the contract, and it's related to all of this, how do you protect your buyer and seller to keep that transaction going without it, being a problem? So there's going to have to be some changes in the language that we use in our contracts, and understanding that this is different for all of us.
And maybe some flexibility.